Welcome back. This is Let's Talk Turkey with Jayne Turk, and we are talking about the very first assignment that you're starting in the mass media class. So this is the introduction to mass media and the first assignment you're starting, but not the first one you're turning in. So this assignment is the media tracking analysis. So you're going to go into Canvas and you're going to click on the media tracking analysis in the Great Adventures section. And as with all of the papers, you have a complete assignment sheet that tells you all of the information. So when you're working on it at 3 a.m. the night before it's due, or the morning that it's due, you can have your questions answered. But let's go over the sheet together. So the due date's going to be in your syllabus, and of course it's going to vary by semester, so be sure and look at that and know what that is. This is worth 85 points. The purpose, starting with the background of it, most people consume media every single day, but few of us stop to consider how much we consume, what types we consume, or how our habits influence our perceptions, beliefs, and behaviors, which, by the way, is going to be the topic of the first assignment you're turning in. This assignment asks you to become a researcher and study your own media consumption habits throughout the semester. You are the subject of this research project. So we're going to do media tracking 3 particular weeks during the term, and it's really important that you make sure that you do that. And we're not even tracking for the whole week. You're going to choose 3 days randomly that you can track your media for for that week. So you're going to track it during week 1, week 3, and week 7. So during each tracking week, record your media use for a minimum of 3 days. So you should include everything. So this list gives you some of the things that you might not be thinking about. And so you can, obviously social media goes into that, but so does listening to Spotify. So does the example that I used, going to the baseball game and looking at the advertisements up on the projected boards there. So all of the media that you encounter, try and just keep a little journal, write it down, and write, what you were doing and how long you were on it. And then after you've collected data all 3 of those weeks, you're going to write an analysis discussing what it is you found. So what patterns did you notice? Which forms of media occupied most of your time? Did your habits change during the semester? What surprised you most about your media use? What media sources do you trust the most? What media sources influence your opinions the most? How do your media habits reflect your interests, your values, and your priorities? And did this assignment change the way you think about your media consumption? Most importantly, using concepts from this class, analyze what your media habits reveal about you as a media consumer. Successful projects will include data from all 3 tracking periods, demonstrate honest and accurate tracking. This is not about gotcha. This is not about judging you for how much you consumed. This is about honestly looking at it. And you saw the statistics. On average, Americans are consuming 13 hours a day of media. So for some of you, especially if you just moved here and you're living in the dorms, you might be exceeding that. That's okay. We're not judging. We're just looking at it and analyzing that use. Reflect thoughtfully on your personal media habits and demonstrate growth in media literacy. So your analysis should reflect the concepts that we're talking about in these videos. So I have some questions and answers that I thought might be helpful for you. Do you need to track every single minute? Nope. This is not like counting calories. This is just kind of keeping an eye on it. And some of that is done for you. So many of you have phones that will tell you how many hours a day you're using media on your phone, but you need to pay attention to other things. And the goal is awareness, not perfection. So estimates are acceptable. What if I forget to track part of a day? Do your best. This isn't about me catching you in lies. I don't have private detectives following you around and saying, no, you did not include this. So do your best. We're looking at recognizing patterns. This isn't something that I'm going to try and get published and become internet famous over. Can I discover that I spend too much time on social media? Yeah. I expect that you're going to discover several things that surprise you. And what are you really being graded on? Thoughtful analysis. The goal is not to have good media habits, although obviously I hope that those develop over the course of the semester. But the goal for this project is to understand your media habits and understand the impact your habits have on you. So, my hint, we almost always begin this assignment thinking we know how we spend our media time. We're usually wrong. So, to recap, you're going to track your media for 3 days during weeks 1, 3, and 7. If you haven't done it already, I encourage you to go ahead and put those dates in your phone right now. Some kind of reminder up on your wall, something you're going to see, because otherwise those weeks will go by and you will have forgotten. So you need to make sure that you're recording 3 days from each of those 3 weeks. And try and include all of the things here, including video games. You're going to write about 650 words. You're going to submit your analysis plus your journal. Check your syllabus for the due date. It's worth 85 points. So you're going to analyze patterns. You're going to analyze which media occupied most of your time. So did you spend a lot of your time on social media, TikTok? Were you playing video games? Were you doing Netflix and chill? What was the thing that you were doing most of your time that you were using media? What surprised you? What media sources do you trust? Which media sources influenced you the most? And I don't expect you necessarily to answer all of these questions, but I want you to be thinking about these questions as you're developing that analysis. How do your media habits reflect your interests, values, or priorities? Because our behavior should be a reflection of the things we value and prioritize. And I say that knowing full well that at 3 a.m. when I'm not sleeping and I'm playing a game on my phone, that does not recognize my priority of getting good sleep, right? And did this assignment change the way you think? Remember, this is not about me judging. Honestly, it's not even about you judging. It's about awareness. So, if you need help in this process, first off, ask me. You should know my office hours, how to get a hold of me on Zoom. Please, if you haven't already, make sure that my phone number is in your phone so you can text me. And if you text me at 3 a.m. and I'm awake playing a game when I should be sleeping, I'll text you right back. If I'm not awake, it won't bother me. I'll see it when I get up in the morning. So please, please ask me for help if you're stuck. Remember that we have the ASC with the Writing Lab. Both are able to help you, and particularly, this is all application, so we shouldn't be using AI for this. So get help if you need help in academic writing. Disabled Students has additional help for you. And again, no AI. I don't care if you use it for grammar and spelling, although honestly, I'd rather have bad grammar and spelling than have you put the whole paper through AI. Because this is about you and your life, and AI doesn't have anything to contribute to that conversation. So when you're ready to submit it, you can send me a file. You click on the link in the Canvas shell and you can submit it either as a text file, or you can submit a link to it, or you can send me over to Google Docs. But if you do the Google Docs route, be sure that you've given me access. And if shit happened and your paper's going to be late, that's not the end of the universe. What you don't want to do is you don't want this paper to linger on all semester. So you do want to get it in as soon as possible, and talk to me if you're having a crisis. I can usually figure out a way to make things work for you. If nothing else, I can definitely make you feel better, and we'll get it done. So Rocky's here to remind you all the places you can get help, and that you've got this, because you do. In case no one said it today, I love you. I'm glad you're here. And this has been Let's Talk Turkey with Jayne Turk.